Joining me now is New York Assembly member Jaime Williams. Assembly member, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and as you know, the state of New York has been dealing with an influx of migrants really for months now. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said that close to 60,000 of the almost 100,000 migrants who arrived in New York since spring of 2022 are in city-provided housing or shelters. So to start off the conversation, when you hear that really staggering number, what's your reaction?
First of all, that number, we've heard it's over 100,000. So for us, it's a moment where, what are we doing here? We're bursting at our seams. Where is the plan in place? We're concerned, and you're making, these numbers are making New Yorkers concerned. So that's hence the reason you're seeing so many things happening, the rallies happening, because people are just concerned about this issue and when is it going to stop?
You used the phrase bursting at the seams. This surely seems unsustainable. So, what is the plan here?
I wish I knew what the plan was. Up to this day, we haven't, well, I specifically, who represent the 59th Assembly District, have not heard from the mayor or the governor. So we learned about this issue coming into our district via social media, the news, the newspaper, and so forth. And the governor's team scrambled to put together a meeting with myself, Assembly Member Stacey Fefer-Amato, Councilwoman Joran Ariola, and so forth, and Senator Passan. And they did not have any answers for us. They said that the lease wasn't signed, and this was ongoing. But yet, they were coming out and making these announcements, and Floyd Bennett Field in particular, it's a very isolated area. Our community is a transit desert, but Floyd Bennett Field it's a flood zone. And during Superstorm Sandy, the only reason people didn't die there because no one lives there. But the slightest amount of rain, when I went out on Friday, it was past my ankles. So it's not the ideal place to put migrants. They don't deserve this. If you're coming from one chaos going into another, it's not fair to them as well. And I think there is a solution. The solution is the governor coming out at a flick of a pen and making an executive decision where the rest of the state can open up and absorb some of these migrants to take the burden off our mayor and take the burden off of our New Yorkers who are concerned.
I want to ask you, when you met with Governor Hochul and her administration, you said they're not answering your questions. What are the questions that you're asking that they really are stuck for an answer?
So we didn't meet with Governor Hochul, we met with her team. And, basic questions like, is there an impact study? Are they aware that it's a flood zone? Are you aware of the 1972 law that was passed in Congress by Congressman Frank Brasco to permit housing from happening there? Even though this is not permanent housing, it's some type of temporary shelter that's being put in place. And what does temporary mean? Is it 45 days? Is it 90 days? What is it? Is this going to be like another City Island where all the tents were put up, and then when the rain came and the flooding came, they then took it down? So these questions were not answered.
You represent Assembly District 59. Can you just give us a little insight into your community and what the people in your community are saying?
Oh, sure. So I represent a part of Canarsie going into the Flatlands, Georgetown, Mill Basin, Mill Island, Bergen Beach, Marine Park, and Garrison Beach. Our district is very unique. We cover half of Jamaica Bay. We have many inlets coming in from Jamaica Bay. So we're right on the water, basically. And all of Floyd Bennett Field is in my district. And residents are concerned. You know, Floyd Bennett Field is used as a recreational area for thousands of people throughout Brooklyn, Queens, and so forth. It's also right at Flatbush Avenue, which is a main artery, a point of evacuation just in case there is another storm or hurricane and so forth. You know, all the folks from the Rockaways, that's their point of evacuation, heading all the way down into the highlands into Williamsburg. So when you have something like that happening, we're still in the hurricane season. Let's just be fair. I mean, Sandy happened October 29th, I believe. We're not even in September, right? A day shy from September. So basically, we're 2 months of the unknown, right? So who would you evacuate first? You know, so we can't be playing with people's lives here, people's safety. You know, it's 2 miles away from any type of supermarket. It's just not an easy place to get to at all.